Hello, and in this video we're going to talk through System 1 and System 2 thinking and why it's so important to understand when working to overcome painful or traumatic memories from the past. So Systems 1 and 2 thinking was a groundbreaking piece of work from Daniel Kahneman, who was working on a lot of previous work that led to the point where he was able to articulate it in a really easy to understand way. He essentially describes the way that our brain has two different operating systems. System 1, which is the fast-acting emotional side, and then System 2, which is the slower, more effortful thinking side. So he looked at these two different sort of thinking systems and tried to decipher how they work. So the System 1 is all about fast, automatic responses. It's about the things you do without thinking about them, the things that you do just automatically. And it can include things like just tying your shoelace, it can include things like making quick, rash decisions, and it's all about fast processing and quick decision making. System 2 thinking is much slower. It requires more effort. It takes more time, it requires more energy, and it can allow you to think about things in much more different and varied ways. So Systems 2 thinking might be when you're doing your accounts. It might be when you're doing complex bill comparisons. It might be when you're really looking to find one friend in a really crowded room. So we've got these System 1 and System 2 thinking devices. And what Daniel Kahneman found that was really interesting is that you can give the same stimulus to those two different sort of pieces of software and you'll get very different outcomes. So when we interpret something very quickly using our System 1 thinking, we can get very different sort of associations and responses compared to if we engage in System 2 thinking, which is slower and more effortful, but much more varied in its approach. So it was really groundbreaking to know that even the same response, the same stimulus, can be perceived and processed in completely different ways if we engage our different operating system. So this is really important, and it also shows about the power of the subconscious mind, because as human beings we really often like to think that we're calm, rational and logical beings. But actually the research shows that very often we're not. A lot of our decisions are emotional, a lot of our decisions are highly irrational. So we'll make decisions with our System 1 thinking and then we'll justify them and rationalize them later with our Systems 2 thinking. So although we like to think we're very logical, a lot of the time we're making highly emotional decisions and then backing them up with sort of data after the effect, which is really important to help us decipher how we interpret and process past painful events, and then how we go about shifting our perceptions to actually get a different outcome, to get a different type of response. So when we're going about our day-to-day life, particularly if we have these painful or traumatic experiences in the past, because they're in the subconscious, they will be influencing our Systems 1 thinking. So they'll be influencing our quick decisions, our immediate reactions, our immediate associations and responses to certain stimuli. Whereas if we can engage our Systems 2 thinking, although it's a little bit slower and although it's a little bit more effortful, that can allow us to change our perceptions, to change our decisions, and therefore to change our actions. So having an understanding and appreciation of Systems 1 and Systems 2 thinking is really crucial when it comes to helping us transcend those previous experiences and getting different results and better outcomes for our well-being. Thank you.